So earlier this morning, we sat down and talked about Brent Venables and company getting a massive win for a 2026 tight end. But it didn't take long for Oklahoma to follow that up with a major addition in the 2025 class for one of the top prospects, regardless of position in the nation, and a prospect that plays for one of the best high school football teams there is. Today, we need to break down and talk about why Marcus Harris is an addition that every Oklahoma fan should be excited about. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I've got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, Y for yes, N for no. Are you excited that Marcus Harris chose to commit to Oklahoma? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below as those interactions are small. They truly do help content creators such as myself. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And we're going to start this off the same way we always do whenever we're talking about a team that gets a big-time win. Who is Marcus Harris? Well, as I alluded to in the intro, Marcus Harris is one of the best prospects in the nation regardless of position. However, if we look at the 24/7 sports composite, Oklahoma fans are going to be excited. He comes in as the number 164 player regardless of position, the number 17 wide receiver, and the number 15 player in the state of California, a state consistently loaded with talent, and we talk about that all the time. He stands 6'1" and 185 pounds. And during the intro, I talked about Harris playing for a team that's one of the best in the nation, and we're talking about modern day. Now, I have this take consistently whenever you get a prospect from an IMG, from a modern day, from a Duncanville. There are certain high schools in the nation that when you get a win from that high school, you need to be really excited. Why? Well, quite simply put, it's because they have already embraced this notion of competition, the iron sharpens iron mantra. They practice against guys that will be playing college football. They play against guys that will be playing college football. So Marcus Harris has gone up against a Chuck McDonald, for instance, who's committed to Alabama. He is well aware of what it takes to go one-on-one with a guy that will be playing college football, and that will help his transition from high school to college. Because that is a tough transition, and I say this all the time, and I continue to say it because it's worth talking about. It's not easy to go from high school football to college football. It's a very difficult transition, but when you come from a program like a modern day, who, by the way, had a 5-star defensive back last class in Zabian Brown, who's with the Crimson Tide, Marcus Harris has gone against these guys. He's repped against these guys. He knows what it takes, and iron sharpens iron. That's going to make you better. Not only has he gone up against these guys in practice, whenever you're talking about the Trinity League out there in California, I think it's arguably the best league in all of high school football. Yes, you have your 6A Texas high school football with Duncanville, Galena Park, North Shore. Those leagues are really tough. You got your league up in the DMV that Caleb Williams came from that is a real tough league. IMG plays some intense competition, but that Trinity League, year in, year out, has some incredible prospects playing in it, and Marcus Harris is just one of them. Now, we also need to talk about what he brings to the table. First and foremost, this is a guy with genuine speed. As a true freshman, he ran an 11.14 second 100-meter dash, and that was as a true freshman. I have no doubt it's faster now. Whenever Marcus Harris is healthy, he is a nightmare for defensive backs to cover. He's a good route runner. He's got the burst. He's got the explosion. He's got the speed. He's really a do-it-all type wide receiver, and one that Georgia wanted, UCLA wanted, Oregon wanted, but Oklahoma gets the win. And this was an interesting situation with Marcus Harris, because Marcus Harris popped up for a visit this week, and Emmett Jones and Brent Venables knocked it out the park, and then he commits. That right there is exactly what I always talk about. It's exactly what we talked about in the video earlier today where we talk about relationships. And there are certain coaching staffs out there that are proving time and time again they are elite at cultivating relationships. And Brent Venables is certainly one of them. If you've been a fan of my content and you're an Oklahoma fan, you'll know I think Emmett Jones was one of the best hires Brent Venables made. Retaining Bill Bedenbaugh, massive. Getting in Schmitty, unbelievable. Getting Todd Bates to come with you from Clemson, that's a home run. But Emmett Jones, I don't think there's any two ways around it. He is a home run hire, and one that not only recruits at a high level, he's a fantastic wide receiver coach. And you've seen this Oklahoma wide receiver room, and it's a wide receiver room that is absolutely loaded with talent going into the 2024 season. Emmett Jones continues to impress as a coach, as a recruiter, as an individual who's able to cultivate relationships. And it's something that the observant college football fan, they're taking note of. Make no mistake about it. This is a huge win. What does it mean for the Oklahoma Sooners class? Because we've talked about who Marcus Harris is, where he plays, what he brings to the table, his wide receiver coach being an elite coach and an elite recruiter, and Brent Venables and Emmett Jones being fantastic at cultivating relationships. But what does this addition mean for OU's recruiting class as a whole? Well, it gives you 16 prospects and puts you at a score of 233.17 per the 24/7 Sports Composite, which moves you up to the number 7 overall recruiting class in the nation. And I have a sneaky suspicion that Brent Venables and company, they're nowhere close to done. We're going to have to keep watching to see what other wins they're able to keep stacking. But hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about this addition. That's it. See ya.